Okay, I'm just revisiting something that I covered yesterday, and I've discovered something which was very interesting. When it comes to the paranormal, the, one of the things that you must do is you must question everything, not jump to conclusions. And but that's not what's happening in this case. Now, this is the liquid substance on the wall um, video that I covered yesterday.
Hetty says this is coffee. There's no reason why coffee should be way up on the wall like that.
Right. Hetty said this is coffee. Now, because this liquid that's on the wall isn't being sent off to the laboratory, it cannot be claimed to be a particular substance without a scientific analysis. Those resources can be expensive and is not available for everybody unless you have some money. But what would happen if you had a wall that was stained with tar and you had moisture droplets on it? That moisture droplets will react with the tar, and the droplets would turn a brown colour. So that would explain the coffee. But Cecil went live yesterday, and he actually debunked himself without even speaking. So we're going to get into that.
And the way it's positioned, there's been known for demonic spirits in buildings where liquid, like, is found.
That's because you've been watching too many YouTube videos. Now, I'm going to finish with that one, and I'm going to go to his live. Now, there's droplets running down the wall, right? If you have a foggy night where you had a good day, and then at night time fog comes because it's a humid environment, you go out to your car in the morning and you will find your car is covered in droplets. Why is that? Well, the hot, humid climate will be attracted to cold surfaces like glass and metal. Now, what happened when Cecil went live yesterday? He didn't say anything. He decided he would just record himself, making music. But this is the. He hasn't spoken throughout this video. He just recorded himself, turned it off, didn't interact with his audience or anything like that. But take a look at this. Do you see the way this lens is? No, I can't be 100% certain, but that is the same sort of effect that you would get if there was moisture on your lens. So that could be a possibility that Cecil is in a warm, humid environment and moisture is on the lens. That very much looks like it to me. He didn't speak, he just made his music, and throughout the video you can see the effect on the camera. It doesn't seem to have changed. Now, I could be completely wrong, but that would explain the moisture on the wall. Brought me to another a wrote a comment on order of magnitudes post when it comes to the paranormal and that. And when I get talking about the paranormal, I get ranty. Oh no, not playlist, community. There we go. More embarrassment to the paranormal field with old Cecil talking once again about Tupac and your utter nonsense about talking to his spur on his show. That I covered yesterday as well, but I just sort of kind of changed subject here now. He certainly is an embarrassment to the paranormal field. He just recently done a live music session which was really interesting, but not in the way people might think. What I noticed was that his camera lens had fogged up for the whole stream. Now, it's the same sort of effect as a fogged up screen. I cannot fully say that it was a fogged up screen. It could have been a dirty screen, but judging from the screen and then the moisture on the wall, I'm sort of guessing that it's a humid environment, and anything like walls or glass, which is a cold substance surface, is going to attract moisture. But there's simple tests you can do. A humidity meter. You know, it's the same sort of size as an EMF meter. Remember when he claimed that there was drips running down the wall around the cross? Well, the fogged up lens would tell me that it's possible that possibility very humid inside Cecil's house. If it's hot and humid, water moisture can gather on cold surfaces like glass and even walls, and that's what I believe caused heavy drops to run down the wall. His partner said it looks like coffee. Well, yes, it might look like coffee, but it is simply tar on the wall which discolored the water droplets. We all know if it's foggy outside, there is going to be mist on our cars in the morning because the warm air reacts to the cold metal of the car. Other things during the week that Cecil made a paranormal fool of himself is taking someone like Tyler Henry serious. When people start becoming interested in the paranormal, very often they will watch everything paranormal and very often be influenced by them. But some of those people end up being so interested in the paranormal that they turn from watching paranormal content to investigating the paranormal for themselves, and that's when a lot of people start to question what influenced them. But this doesn't seem to happen with Cecil, because Cecil just copies what he sees rather than investigating using a logic frame of mind. Oh, you can when I get into a rant, I get into a rant. I imagine Cecil as someone who watches a list of videos of certain events in the paranormal and then tries to fit it into his life, like dripping walls and of course the crying Jesus candle. What brought me to that was there is a lot of videos on crying statues, especially in the south of Ireland. When he filmed the so-called crying candle, straight away I said to myself, he has been watching crying statue videos, and the dripping wall reminds me of a number of different videos. A video that might come to mind is there was an oil substance coming from a wall. I think it might have been in Mexico or something like that. There was other incidents where there was substance coming from walls and it was sent off for analysis, and it was human plasma for some reason. There's loads of different examples of that. So Cecil most likely was watching videos like that. If you're not in a situation to send liquid samples off to the lab, there is no way you can claim that it is for sure, can't claim what it is for sure, and jumping to conclusions is just sloppy investigating. Yeah, I mean, like, if something looks like something, it doesn't mean that it is. Especially when the paranormal can be complex. And what may look like something may be something logical or something else. People have to fit science in where science works, and professionals in where there's it's useful, like audio engineering and photographers. I sent a photograph off to a professional photographer for analysis because I wanted a second opinion. Now, the photographer couldn't debunk it either, and but was able to explain the way shadows work and stuff like that. Because they know about light levels and shadows and stuff like that, and something that might look like a shadow figure, they may be able to match it with something on the opposite side of a photograph or whatever. So if you're not a professional photographer is very useful in the paranormal when it comes to still shots and stuff like that. This is where the paranormal has to move forward with. Yeah, I mean, like, when you think of YouTube and that, people go out ghost hunting on a Saturday night. Very often they go out by themselves or a group of friends, and it's great fun and stuff like that. But when it comes to real evidence and stuff, I think moving forward we need to integrate some of these other people, maybe as an outside source, science. That's if science would take, the paranormal series is very difficult, but where science fits in, it fits in. It fits in certain aspects of the paranormal, not every part of it. Same with photographers, same with audio engineers when it comes to audio recordings and stuff like that. This is where the paranormal has to move forward with. Simply us alone may not be enough. Other resources should be involved, rather than just YouTube viewers getting freaked out because they misunderstand the information in front of them. And that goes for ghost hunters and investigators as well. Very often you see, in the past, maybe this still keeps going on, live ghost hunts, and the people that are doing the live stream depend on the people that are watching to figure out what's happening. And very often when you read the chat, one person might say, oh, that looks like a ghost. Yeah, it's a ghost. Yeah, it's a ghost. And it's a snowball effect. One person has an opinion, then everybody else follows. Oh yeah, that's a spirit, That's cagey investigating. Yeah, ghost hunting is not, you try to find something unusual and stuff like that, but at the same time, we shouldn't jump to conclusions. That's what I'm trying to say. A simple amateur radio course can teach the basis of radio waves and the difference and the different types and how they travel, and also can teach a lot about EMF. But many are too lazy to learn the basics, and just continue copying what they see on Ghost Adventures. Yeah, there is some basic science that people should actually learn if you're interested in the paranormal, so you can think with a logical mind. The paranormal is the last thing you should turn to, and generally, you know, I've learned that if I can't explain it, you go down to every avenue you can, and if you can't explain it, it's possibly paranormal. But I actually wouldn't label it paranormal because there might be something I don't understand, you know? Because you can learn basic science, but maybe more advanced science could actually explain what's going on there, you know? Which we wouldn't have a full knowledge of, you know? We often said the words question everything, and those words are a huge learning experience of itself, and I learned a lot from that. But there is always going to be people like Cecil who put out the wrong message, and that's what brings the whole paranormal community down. When it's difficult enough to get science to take any of this serious, you know, when it comes to people that jump to conclusions, they're not the worst. The worst is obviously the out and out fakers who are making horror content and putting it out as real, you know, and fooling the public. Cecil doesn't intentionally do that, but he does jump to conclusions, and the first thing he jumps to is a paranormal cause, which is the last thing you should do. And even if you can't find a logical cause, label it paranormal may not be the right answer either. It may be that you just completely don't understand. But you got a lot of these people that watch a lot of paranormal because it feeds their passion and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're talking about TV shows. You're talking about every 30 seconds something has to happen. That doesn't happen in real life. But yeah. I just thought that live stream may be interesting and may be connected to the drips on the wall. So I don't know what the temperature is in Kentucky. It's not my paranormal event to investigate, but it would have been useful if Cecil would have told us the exact temperature of the room and the humidity. As two simple pieces of information that you can get. Now, people talk about the stereotypical ghost hunting kit, and that includes a K2 meter and stuff like that, but they don't take into account other meters such as humidity and temperature. Yes, sometimes temperature is brought into it and stuff like that, but in that particular case, the two, you know, main readings that's important in that situation is humidity and temperature, and you didn't do any of that. That's not investigating. But anyway, I'm going to leave that one for now and talk to you soon, folks.